Okay, so integration is like the reverse process of differentiation. Okay, and all you've got to remember, right, the rules, quite simply, just like there's rules for differentiation, just remember similar rules now for integration. So what we do here is, right, we add a power to it, right? So remember differentiation, you bring the power down and you reduce that power by 1. Well, in integration we do the reverse process and we do it in a reverse way. So we're going to add a power. So this will become 4x to the power 4. But then we've got to divide by that new power, right? So just remember with integration, all you've got to do is add 1 to that power and divide by that new power, okay? So same here. Now the power there is 1, isn't it? So if I add 1 to that, I end up on 2 and divide them by that new power. And then here, if I add 1 to that power, well, if you add 1 to minus 2, you get minus 1 and divide by that new power. That's 1, minus 1. And then you've got to put a plus constant as well, right? Plus constant, because it's the reverse process. And if you remember, when you differentiate, a constant just disappears. So, you know, if we integrate, go backwards, there could be a constant there. So you need to make sure you just put plus c to represent that constant. And we could simplify this then. And that divides, isn't it? You know, 4 divided by 4 cancels, so you get that. 2 divided by 2, that cancels. You've got a minus 1 there, so you could change that to a minus. And then plus c. And you're done. Part B then. So we've got showing all your workings, evaluate this here. Okay, so now we've got limits in there. And when we've got limits, we can actually work out an answer, right? We can come with a numerical answer. So if we integrate this here, okay, well, you do the same rules again, right? This time though, because there's limits in my answer, I put my answer in a box, right? Okay, and I put my limits at the end. So the upper limit there is 3, my lower limit's 2. So we put it in a box. So if I integrate this, now remember you add 1 power to it, so that's 1 already, isn't it? So if you add 1 to it, it'll become 2 and divide by that new power, 2. And then here, 2, well, there's no x term there, but that's like x to the power 0, isn't it? X to the power 0. So if I'm going to add a power to it, if I'm going to add 1 to the power, if it's x to the power 0, if I add 1 to it, it'd be x to the power 1, divide by 1, okay? So this becomes, if I simplify that, 8 over 2 is 4, so 4x squared plus 2x. Notice I didn't put a plus c. You don't need to put a plus c when there's limits in there, right? You just don't need to do that. So what I'll do then is, I'll put the limits in to get a numerical answer. So first of all, you put the top limit in, right? The upper limit, okay, the bigger one. So you put 3 in here. So you literally put 3 into that, okay? And plus we put that into a bracket, okay, to show I put 3 in there. And then we always take away, then, putting the lower limit in. So we substitute the lower limit in as well. Okay, so we put the upper limit into it, the 3 into it, and we put the lower limit into it, and we take away the answers. So you can do all that in one go on your calculator. Okay. So I've got the first bracket there, take away then the second bracket, I get my answer to be 22. So we've got a numerical answer.